Good morning. It's Monday, March 30th. I have a few thoughts here from the prophet Amos. The other Old Testament prophets are pretty strong in their words of warning and rebuke and judgment of God, but they often temper those words with words of comfort and hope, reminding the people of God's promises and future restoration. But not so much with Amos. Amos is a pretty pessimistic book. There's not a whole lot of hope in here except for the last few verses. It is almost as if God has said, enough is enough. But 3 times in the book of Amos, Amos says something about God's name. Now, God's name is not just the label that he wears or that he's called by, but God's name in the scriptures refers to all that he is. It encompasses all his character, all his attributes, all that God is. Listen to these 3 references from chapter 4, verse 13. For behold, he who forms mountains and creates the wind and declares to man what are his thoughts, he who makes dawn into darkness and treads on the high places of the earth, the Lord God of hosts is his name. And then skipping over to chapter 5, verse 8. He who made the Pleiades and Orion, 2 constellations in the stars, and changes deep darkness into morning, who also darkens day into night and calls for the waters of the sea and pours them out on the surface of the earth, the Lord is his name. And one more reference at the end, chapter 9, verse 5 and 6. The Lord God of hosts, the one who touches the land so that it melts, and all those who dwell in it mourn, and all of it rises up like the Nile and subsides like the Nile of Egypt. The one who builds his upper chambers in the heavens and has founded his vaulted dome over the earth, who calls for the waters of the sea and pours them out on the face of the earth, the Lord is his name. What these references tell us is that God is still in control of his world. He is still sustaining his world. Even though things appear very dire, God is still God on his throne. They also tell us that God is not to be trifled with. God is not to be taken lightly. The people of Israel have been doing that for years and years, decades. And God has finally said, enough is enough. We are not to take God lightly. So today, as you go about your day, and as you begin a new week, let us determine to honor God